Olympic Village is the battleground of football for this afternoon's intense clash between Heidelberg United and the Boroondara-Carey Eagles. It is the match of the round in round 12 of the NPL women's season, and it is a top-of-the-table clash between the top-of-the-table Heidelberg taking on the second-of-the-table Boroondara-Carey Eagles. A win for Heidelberg would cement them in top position for the remainder and the back end of the season, giving them a 2-round buffer over all the other teams. However, a win for Boroondara would bring them within 1 point of Heidelberg, closing the gap between first and second on the table and making it just a little bit more juicier for the back end of the season. Stefan Georgic and Emma Burke with you, getting ready to call the action. Emma, what can we expect here today?
I'm expecting a very exciting match between these two. We've got a few lineup changes for Heidelberg United as they've had some players come in back from the A-League women's season. Boroondara in second place. They'll be definitely giving everything they've got to push to close the gap between them and the Burgers.
It is going to be a big game. And Emma, why don't you take us through the lineups for the Heidelberg squad?
So for Heidelberg United today, you have captain Mia Bailey in goals. You've got number 2, Maya Hayson. Number 3, Rosie Wild. Number 4, Cameron Barrerio. Number 5, Sawa Matsuda. Number 10, Bronte Peel. 14, Asuka Miata. 16, Molly Burke. No relation, by the way. 21, Mia Bailey, goalkeeper and captain. Number 13, Tamar Levin, who's made her way back from the Brisbane Roar. Well, to Heidelberg. Number 6, Sarah O'Donoghue, who's returning to the Burgers as well after a season with Perth Glory. And Bella Wallhead, who's also returning from Perth Glory, who last played for the Burgers in the 2022 season.
And I'll take you through the Boroondara-Carey Eagles lineup. Number 1 in goal, Mia Mossman. Number 2, right up forward, Emily Collier. Number 4, Kanko Higuchi. Number 9, Rachel Sturton. Number 10, the captain, Hayley Gertz. Number 11, Priya Savaririan. Number 12, Candela Ferreira-Bass. Number 15, Felicity Georgopoulos. Number 16, Angeliki Hundalis. Number 21, Saki Nagai. And number 25, Drew Dempsey. A big game of football, top of the table clash, as we mentioned. So it could go anyone's way here. But with the additions that Heidelberg have, it very much looks to be Heidelberg's game here today, even though kickoff hasn't gone, I should say. It is going to be quite exciting. What are you expecting for Heidelberg here, Emma?
I'm expecting to see them be quite an attacking force, but they're definitely going to have a very solid defensive line, which they have shown all season, made up of Bella Wallheads, Rosie Wild, Cameron Barrerio, and I believe that's going to be Tam 11? It'll be a very defensive game from the Burgers, as they are wont to play. I would assume Matsuda will probably find her way onto the score sheet, as she's wont to do.
Sawa Matsuda already with 13 goals in the season. It's so far her season at the moment. Whatever she touches is turning to gold. Heidelberg at the moment, first in the table, as we mentioned, sitting on 26 points. 8 wins, 2 draws, and only just the 1 loss that they've had. Boroondara, second on the table with 22 points. 7 wins, 1 draw, and 3 losses for them. So a throw in for Barrero. Only just the 1 change for Boroondara this week. Madeline Rees is out. And the 3 changes for Heidelberg United, obviously bringing in those superstar players from the Women's A-League. Glad you could be with us here for a good Saturday of football, as we might have an attacking opportunity, but it will be booted away by the Eagles. Well, the ball just going to be pushed around here a little bit at the moment. Ballhead. Hopefully this grandstand can be filled up as the day progresses. Here's Levin. And just moving the ball around Miyata. And straight into the goalkeeper's hands. Oscar Miyata, what have you thought of her so far this year, Emma?
I think she's a very clever player. She seems to make things happen when they shouldn't, really, and is very good at linking play between the defence and the attack. But we've got Boroondara on the run down the line here. The cross is put in a bit early. It's at the top of the box now. Wallhead intercedes. Shots taken, but not enough on it to challenge Mia Bailey in goals, and she'll collect to restart for the Burgers. Back now with Rosie Wild looking to push forwards. Wallhead on the far sides. They're trying to work their way down the line, but it's fallen apart there. They'll clean up. High ball drops down. No one's touched it yet. And Boroondara come away with the ball. The long ball's played out, but it's a bit too far for Georgopoulos, I believe, to track down. You'll have to forgive us if we get some of the names and numbers wrong for the far side, as we are very far away from them, and it is quite hard to see them. Ball's gone out now for a goal kick. We're back with Bailey. Oh, no, she's leaving it for her defender, Rosie Wild, to take. Bailey's ball comes along, finds Barrerio. Just holding the play there. Falls kindly, ball's off and out. And the offside flag has risen, unfortunately. Was Molly Burke on the end of that. Unfortunately, caught offside there, and Boroondara will escape without a shot taken on their goal.
Very close one indeed for Heidelberg. Really etching to try and be the aggressor in this bout so far. This is the 11th meeting between these two sides in their rivalry that they've had. Heidelberg leads the head-to-head bout, 7 wins to only just the one that Boroondara had. That was back in 2023. Boroondara had a 5-4 victory over the Burgers. Actually played each other earlier on the season, back in round 1. That was the Burgers getting the job done, 3-2. The ball tried to be crossed in, but not quite. And so far, Heidelberg, they're just feeling out their competition at the moment. You never know when Heidelberg is going to pounce. Such a well-rounded team. Here's Barrero. Going to cross it forwards. Tried to go to Peel, but just wasn't quite there. Just in the nick of time, wasn't there. Ball just going to be tipped around in the middle of the pitch here. Here's Miyata again. Spoke about her earlier, how much of a great job she does in the engine room for Heidelberg. Creates a lot of opportunities. And here's a nice little through ball off to Tamar Levin. She's inside the box and to try and cross it in. And it only hits the crossbar. And a close one and a first shot there for Heidelberg. And I'm assuming it's going to be the first of many for him.
I believe you are right in saying that. Levin just found the tiniest pocket of space there to curl the ball around her defender and put Boroondara on notice. They'll now look to reset and start again. Ball coming forwards. But the Burgers are right there on top of it. And they've turned over Again, back to Boroondara now. Trying to play back to play forward. Burgers are just everywhere. Pushing out wide to the far side, down the line, but won't get past Bella Wallhead there, who's right on her player. Burgers have come away with the ball once again, and they're playing all the way back to their keeper, who will restart for them. Tamo 11 with a massive cross and very well timed. Oh, but not well timed enough, as the offside flag has gone up once again.
Last time out when these two teams played each other, Heidelberg only had just the one offside. So far, they've already got two within the span in the early 10 minutes of the game. So a little bit etchy here at the moment. Again, Heidelberg, they want to come out firing, guns blazing, but I think they just have to control it a little bit. They can sense their prey at the moment. The new additions for Heidelberg at the moment proving to be relatively strong. Barrero with a big boot forwards in the direction of Masuda. She's going to keep charging after it. But Boroondara now going to try and go on a bit of a counter-attack here. They're just being tipped up around into clear air and no one there, and it's Mia Bailey who manages to give it a boot away for Heidelberg. So far, Heidelberg doing a great job in the engine room at the moment, providing with quite a few opportunities to try and attack. A couple have been offside, apart from the one that happened only moments ago with Tamar 11 hitting the crossbar. Here's Matsuda. He's got Emily Collier for company. Going to go inside. And Heidelberg going to give it a kick from well outside the box. And not quite there and intended. So both teams just playing a little bit stagnant at the moment. Boroondara yet to have a proper shot on goal. In the opening minutes of this one, it's been all Heidelberg, and just like that, a kick gone straight into the Heidelberg legs. And they're just going to retreat once again. Boroondara just being exploited a little bit here by the Burgers. And Emma, just by looking at the Burgers right now, you can tell why they are the top of the table. I mean, when they've got their prey, they know when to attack.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about Heidelberg. They're a very well-drilled team, but we've got a break down the side now that Boroondara will clear through Hundalis, and Barrerio will take the throw in on the side. Ball comes in, back with Barrerio. Manages to find her teammates. Back with Levin now. There's no options for her going forward, so she plays back to Burke. Goes back to her defender. In the middle of the park, we're now played out. And the Burgers are with Matsuda now. The ball played in is good, but there's a bit too much on it, and Wallhead can't be there in time for the pass. And Boroondara are let off once again from a very, very threatening Heidelberg United.
There's a good little run there moments ago from Isabel Wallhead. Just the time was just a little bit mistimed. The kick looked good though, but just wasn't quite intended. Burke tries to turn around, kick it. Collier this time not playing up forwards when Boroondara played against South Melbourne. Emily Collier, I should say, she was playing right up in that left wing position. Now she's being placed to play in that left back, and might have a little bit of an opportunity here for Heidelberg, and a close one again, just slipping through the fingers of them. It's only a matter of time until Boroondara starts to get the feel of how Heidelberg are going to play and when they can possibly go for a counter-attack. And Heidelberg just doing a great job there, having the numbers all the way back behind the ball. Barrero after Peel. Peel has had a couple of possessions here thus far on this near side of the pitch, but just can't quite make amends out of everything. Hundalis doing a good job of keeping her at bay. Big boot. Goes forwards for Boroondara inside the box. Could it be an opportunity? And it's not again, and another opportunity gone for Boroondara. But they are getting closer. Ferreira Bass is looking strong inside that box. She's going to be one to watch out for the Eagles. Hundalis with the throw in. Here is Ferreira Bass. And a kick again, just untimed. Boroondara not doing a good job at really sticking the passes to one another. Here's O'Donoghue. Wild. Wallhead with a pass forwards and another mistimed pass, but you can see that Heidelberg, they're intending those passes, and Emma, it's only going to be a matter of time until one of them eventually does stick.
Yeah, they seem to really like this long ball to find Matsuda up at the top. But Boroondara are now coming down the line. They won't get past. They're pushing and pushing, putting Rosie Wild under pressure, but oh, the ball's come back to Boroondara. This might be their first, oh, no, what could have been their first chance, unfortunately, has just slipped through their fingers. And Heidelberg will restart the play through their keeper. Playing back across the face of goal. Rosie Wild pushing forward. Ooh. O'Donoghue tripped there, but the referee sees nothing of it. Heidelberg still come away with the ball. Barrero puts that one up. And Peel's looking to chase down, and there's a late challenge there that will be rewarded with a throw-in for the Burgers, with Barrero to take once again. Throw-in taken, finds Peel. He's looking for Burke, comes back to Barrero. Barrero crosses in. And the whistle has blown again for offside with the flag up. That's the third or fourth time the Burgers have been caught by that flag. Eventually you will think, as you said, one of them will have to stick, right? You'd hope.
Well, hopefully, with the way that Heidelberg are playing, which is obviously a very aggressive style of football at the moment, one of them is going to land. It's just only a matter of time of when it will. Here's Matsuda, the top goal scorer in the NPL women's competition. Miyata tries to cross it back, ball's inside the box, and it goes to the back of the netting! And Heidelberg with the first. Molly Burke, her first goal of the season for Heidelberg. And Emma, we spoke about one finally sticking. One finally stuck for Heidelberg.
Yeah, see, that's the good part of playing those kinds of cutbacks. You can't be called offside on them, can you? So Heidelberg now put into the lead 1-0 over Boroondara-Carey Eagles. And Boroondara will reset and restart the play and now try to work their way back into a game that's been very dominant from the Burgers. Very high press from Heidelberg is very threatening. Boroondara back with their goalkeeper under a lot of pressure, but they managed to come away with it. And we're streaking down the pitch now with Boroondara, but again, Wallhead stands tall, and the turnover is back. Goal potential? No, it's a great save from the keeper. Boroondara have escaped there. You can see the hands on the face of, I believe that's Bronte Peel. who was in one-on-one with the keeper, but unable to make anything of the chance. And Boroondara, Mossman has done very well in goals to keep that one from being converted. The Burgers will have to settle for another throw-in down this far end of the pitch.
And how close was that? We could have been seeing a 2-0 lead for Heidelberg. It could have been 2 goals in the span of a minute. Goes to show why they are one of the top teams in the competition. 11, just doing it. Tough job at the moment, trying to keep the ball alive for Heidelberg. She was in a sandwich of Boroondara players. Here's Miata. She was the one who created the opportunity just moments ago, but could this be an opportunity for Boroondara? Savaririan up forwards, off to Sturton, but it was a really, really poor pass to her teammate. Couldn't quite make anything of it. Gundalis. Savaririan again with a kick, and that ball will be out of play. While the ball is out of play, we'll take an opportunity to provide you with some of the scores around Victoria that are happening at the moment. Alamein have a 4-1 lead against FV Academy. That game is in its 77th minute. Essendon Royals lead 2-0 against Brunswick Juventus. That game is at its 75th minute. And here at Olympic Village, well, it is 1-0 for the Burgers, the top of the table on the women's competition. Another kick. He just fumbled it along her footing, but instead it's Mossman to pick it up. Ball in the centre. Here's Sturton, who's been very quiet at the moment. The entire attacking line and forward line for Boroondara just having a quiet night at the moment. Very hard to make opportunities count when you're playing against such a tough defense. And at the moment, Heidelberg, they're just putting the Boroondara attack in line. So here comes Collier with a kick forwards. And that one is just going to be kicked away. Burke. And again, intercepted there. The matchup that everyone was talking about going into this match is between Higuchi and Matsuda. As we got a nice through ball here. Sturton's on the inside. Bailey managing to keep her body there. And what a save that was. And that would have been a big-time play for Boroondara, Emma.
That would have, unfortunately for Rachel Sturton, she just wasn't able to make the finish, but she did very well there to end up one-on-one with the keeper when there were 3 Heidelberg defenders all on top of her. And it was great work as well from Bailey in goals, who will reset. That's the first real moment we've seen. Bit of a collision there between Collier and Bronte Peel, I believe, and Collier's still on the ground, and the referee will... Oh, is it Figuchi? We'll have to wait for confirmation on that one, but the referee has indeed stopped play because that did look Higuchi on the ground, unfortunately, after a big collision between her and Bronte Peel. And the trainers have come out. Yeah, you've got Heidelberg's Matsuda as well, hovering over there, just making sure that everything is okay. But we'll just wait a moment for everything to be sorted out. Matsuda now returning to her team.
It was a big bump though, Emma, eh? And I mean, fair enough, you know, hopefully she's all right, but I mean, that was a big run.
Yeah, unfortunately the way of the game with with football. Everyone wants the ball at their feet or on their head, as was the case here. But she's now back on her feet, Higuchi. And it looks like she's being stretched out. Hopefully that's the worst of it, just a winding. But she's going to exit the field of play with the trainer. Hopefully she'll be able to make a return back because she has been quite a lively figure for Boroondara.
And that is a shame for Boroondara. As I was mentioning previously, before that shot attempt was taken by Rachel Sturton, the matchup that everyone is talking about heading into this game is between Higuchi and Sawa Matsuda. Higuchi, quite a top-tier defender in the NPL women's competition, if not the best defender in the competition. And Sawa Matsuda, again, another really, really good player, leading the top scoring for the NPL women's competition. Good to see that Higuchi is back. And she's back and already having to play a bit of defense at the moment. As Tamar Levin just trying to keep the ball alive. She was bombarded by Boroondara-Carey Eagles players all the way around her. Here's Sturton with Rosie Wild. We've got a bit of a tussle once again. Both these players on both sides not giving in an inch at the moment. So Heidelberg going to regroup and try and reassess the situation. So far 23 minutes into this game and it is Heidelberg a 1-0 lead, even though it possibly could have been more with that early shot by Tamar Levin hitting the crossbar. But nevertheless though, Heidelberg top of the table, having a 1-0 lead at the moment against the Eagles. Here's Coley up. The ball just going to be loose at the moment. Sarah O'Donoghue was in there. As you mentioned, Emma Sarah, well, Brisbane Roar and Perth Glory player. She was a runner-up in the Australia-Queensland Women's Super Cup. Ended up playing 18 games in 2024 for Perth Glory. Managed to boot in 3 goals as well. In the most recent season, that was as well. Was as well a former Heidelberg United player. So she returns back home, which is always good, especially if you are an ex-player.
Burgers are now on a break again. Back with Matsuda. He's putting the ball forward, looking for Bronte Peel, Barrerio, and Boroondara have managed. Oh, they've cleared, but the flag has also gone up once again against the Burgers. I can imagine the halftime chat will probably look a lot like holding some lines and holding some runs. But we'll have to wait and see if they can manage to pull back. So Boroondara restarting now. They're with their keeper, Hayley Gertz. It's pushing forward. She's now with Honduras. She's looking down her line for Sturton. Can't find her though. The ball just slips past and is at the feet of Mia Bailey. Now Bailey has released Wild, who's pushing forwards. No one's coming to her. She's managed to get the pass off and has released Sarah O'Donoghue, who's just unable to keep it down, but she keeps pressing. Burger's press is really something, and they've managed to win a throw-in on the far side there. Wallhead to take. And ball comes in. Ooh. That was Tamar Levin with a shot there that again hit the crossbar, kind of rattled around Mossman's hands. We're back at the middle of the park, though, with Sturton, who's looking to release her teammate. But, unfortunately, Maya Hayson was there to make the crucial interference and keep Boroondara from running away with it. Back with 11 in the middle of the park. Plays out to Wallhead. Back to Wild. She'll come across the face of goal. And now they're pushing forward, looking for Boroondara, but there's too much on that pass for Boroondara to run down. And Boroondara will have a nice little reprieve from this Burger attack for probably just a moment. The throw-in comes through. Back with Hundelas on this far side. And it turns over for a Burgers throw-in once again.
A bit of a derby out there as well, and I possibly believe it might be why she's struggling at the moment for Rachel Sturton, a former Heidelberg player herself. So maybe the chat was to just roughen her up a little bit and not give her any opportunities, and at the moment she's struggling to really try and make a clear passage of play through and try and have a really good clear shot on goal. Heidelberg's defense just proving a little bit too much at the moment. And straight off into the offense, actually. The offense giving a big headache for the defense of Boroondara-Carey Eagles. So Ferreira Bass engaged in the contact just then. Actually a former player from the Casey Comets. Her 104th NPL game. Make it actually 105, my apologies, 105th NPL game. But anyway, the ball is up for Heidelberg and it just hits the side netting. Not quite enough hide and sauce on at that time. Good shot, though, by Sarah O'Donoghue. Once again, the Perth Glory Women's A-League player. Here we have a nice shot from Bronte Peel inside. Could this be recovered for Heidelberg? Gonna have to wait and find out, as the ball just going to retreat there in a moment of need for Boroondara. The ball's inside their box once again. And just a sigh of relief there for Boroondara, managing to escape that one, not conceding a goal. And a very, very close one there. And Heidelberg, they just know how to flip the switch when it matters most. And that was the time when they needed it. And a massive boot. Ball just going to be out of play. Hundolas to throw it in. Savariran. Here comes an attacking opportunity for Priya Savaririan, and not quite enough. Priya Savaririan, this is her debut season in the NPL women's competition. Former Wesley College player. Actually played for Melbourne University last year. Played 21 games. Put in 5 goals as well. So she's definitely one to watch out for the Boroondara-Carey Eagles. Rachel Sturton not giving Hasten any bit of room to breathe on that passing plate. And could this be an opportunity here for the Burgers? Not quite again. O'Donoghue getting quite a bit of the football here at the moment inside the middle of the pitch. Rosie Wild and clear it off onto the far side. Tried to go to Bronte Peel but couldn't. But Sarah O'Donoghue, my apologies. One of my friends is called Sarah, so apologising to all the viewers out there that are watching for the mispronunciation. But Emma, how would you assess her performance out there so far? Because she's doing a stellar job.
She's definitely growing into the game as it goes, but you can see the real talent that she has, which is why she was picked up by Perth Glory and had such a great season with them. And hopefully we'll get to see some more of her. I believe she scored a really excellent free kick goal during the A-League women's season. And I was hoping we'd see a repeat just before when she took a free kick, but unfortunately, not that time. So the Burgers have just cleared the ball out in front of Boroondara's bench. And Boroondara will take the free throw in. Ball's bouncing around. No one's really able to keep it settled. Goes out again, but this time it'll be Heidelberg's throw in that Bella Wallheads will take. Looking down the line, Wallheads, but straight into Boroondara, and they have won the throw in. To be taken by Collier. He's got a nice run up there. Puts the ball in looking for Sturton. Sturton's come off worse for wear after that challenge and now down on her knees. But the Burgers will turn this over and around very quickly. Ball into the middle of the park looking to find Tamar Levin but can't, unfortunately. And Sturton's still down on the ground, unfortunately. Burgers with the ball at their defensive line. And she's up on her feet. Sturton, still not looking too good. Got her hands above her head, maybe just winded from the challenge as she runs back into an onside position. Now with the Burgers still bouncing the ball around their back line and their defensive midfield, all the way back with Bailey. She's looking forward and ahead, but her pass is intercepted. Now we're in with Masuda, who gets, Miata, who gets collected a bit there, but now Boroondara coming away with it. It's all a bit back and forth in the midfield now. And the Burgers will try and settle things down, and they will now with Bronzy Peel on the ball in the middle of the park. Miata looking to find Levin and does. Levin with the forward pass. There's just a bit too much on it. And Sarah Donahue can't track that one down, but you could see her give a thumbs up back to Levin. She likes the idea. She'll probably want to see that one again. Mossman puts the ball back in. There's no one pressing Maya Hasten, who's able to pass back across to Rosie Wild. Rosie Wild pushing. We're with Bronzy Peel now. Tamar Levin picks up a loose ball. Matsuda. Burgers are just on top of things completely here. Ball came across looking for O'Donoghue. And now Boroondara with Savararian. Oh, and she's pressured off the ball. We're back with O'Donoghue, who finds Matsuda. Matsuda plays across the park, down to Tamar Levin, who's having a great game. Levin trying to find Matsuda again, just does. Matsuda plays back to Barrerio. They're trying to push forward, trying to find a pass through this back line of Boroondara's, but they just haven't worked out where the right time and where the right spot is. But now O'Donoghue with a curling ball right onto the head of Boroondara's defence. Now with their captain. Oh, and their captain's done well there. Gertz to keep O'Donoghue at bay. Only as far as Cameron Barrerio, who's done well to win the free throw and immediately plays it in for O'Donoghue, who's in a bit of a tussle now. But she's managed to escape two defenders and come away with the ball. Plays in a short pass into the box. Now with Bronzy Peel, who's trying to cut back, but there's simply too many white shirts around her. And Boroondara have cleared and won a free kick, I believe, for the pressure that Peel was applying there. That was a great passage of play from Heidelberg. You can see just how much they want another goal. They're really pushing. Boroondara doing well to keep them at bay, but you can't imagine that they'll be able to do it for the rest of the time we have.
So what can Boroondara do to try and respond? Still 1-0 on the scoreline, and it has been very minimal attacking plays from Boroondara. There have been signs and little spurts of possible attacks, but Heidelberg's defense just doing such a good job of keeping them at bay. Here's Savariran on the play. The former Aussie College player. It's open goal square inside. Could it be a chance? And not quite there, and that could have been a very clear one for Boroondara had they managed to find the player inside the box. And not sure what happened there with the referee. Our referee actually is Ben Howe. I think it might have been something to do with the bench. But nevertheless, this first half, well, the possession has all been Heidelberg's. They've just been pouncing on their prey right now. This looks like a predator preying on its prey. Heidelberg at the moment is just all over Boroondara-Carey Eagles. The scoreline doesn't really show it, but boy, has it been all Heidelberg. It's a shot from Tamar 11 from well outside the box. From well beyond distance, that would have been something for her, welcoming her back into the lineup. The big-time play that would have been for her. Not many long-distance goals we see. Last long-distance goal I saw actually was between South Melbourne and Brunswick Juventus back when, in round 5 of the competition, with Misha Westland getting that massive ripping goal. And we might have an opportunity here for Heidelberg, and it'll just be quickly stopped. Felicity Georgopoulos, she's having a bit of a quiet game at the moment out there. Not really her day, considering that she is also another former Heidelberg player. So maybe, again, maybe the sign or the message before the game was to start was keep these former Berger players at bay and make it as physical as you can. And it's proving to be. She played for the Burgers back in 2023. Ended up playing in 19 games for them. Could this be an opportunity? And Ferreira Bass was just there. Couldn't quite manage to keep the possession of the football. Here is Ferreira Bass once again. She's got Isabel Warhead for company. And we're just going to be tipped in inside. And so far, Boroondara just settling for those little chips and lobs just to try and get the ball to really sit inside the box. Savaririan again, former Wesley College player and Melbourne University player. Running on the side, she's got 2 players for company. That was never going to work well for her, but a good stoppage there for Heidelberg. And I believe this could be, if I'm wrong, Emma, the first corner of the game to be exact. So very rare to have the first corner of the game coming at the 39th minute, but nevertheless, one corner at any time is still a corner, and this could be a chance for Boroondara to try and level up the scores, hopefully. They would want that indeed, but we know how strong this Heidelberg defense is right now. So the ball's up. What can they make do of it? And the answer is not a lot. It was Hayley Gertz who sent up that corner, the first corner, and it's just going to be blown away. Nothing will be created of it. Hayley Gertz actually re-signed with Boroondara in late 2024 for the 2025 season. She was the captain of the team for last season. Ended up playing in 15 games, scored 4 goals as well. So she's definitely going to be one to watch out for. Even though she does play in the back line, she can get a good look at the football. And the ball just tipping around the pitch at the moment, Emma, as we slowly wind up to the completion of this first time. And this first half, I should say. What have you thought about both sides as the ball just been tipped around?
I think this has definitely been mostly one-way traffic for Heidelberg, who have absolutely put the pressure on to Boroondara. And now are they going to go forward? No, they're going to play back. O'Donoghue's looking for something in the middle, and she finds it in Molly Burke, who's now pressing forward, looking for that through ball, but unfortunately Bronte Peel was inundated with Eagles around her, and Mossman will reset. As for Boroondara, I think they just need to be a little more proactive. They're very committed to their defense, but their attack could use a few more players pushing forward as they're doing now. But Farah Bass will have the ball taken from her by O'Donoghue. They'll be rewarded for that with a throw-in just past the Eagles' bench. I think if Boroondara are wanting to get back into the game, they may have to commit more than one player to their forward line. Moments like this are good for them to do that. And they're coming through. Unfortunately, can't get anything off there to cross into the box. Or have they? And I've just completely missed it. Yeah, that happened right in front of the post. That's in front of us, unfortunately. So it looks like the last touch of that ball has come off a Heidelberg player, and Boroondara-Carey have won a second corner kick for this game. And Heidelberg are doing them no favours by making them run back to collect that ball there, but it'll be their captain, Hayley Gertz, again to take. So she can take corner kicks from both sides, which is an impressive feat, honestly. No pun intended about feet there. But hand goes up, looking to swing the ball in, looking for someone. Ball comes across the face of goal, through the hands of Mia Bailey, it seems. And Heidelberg are lucky to have gotten away there. They'll reset now. Georgopoulos with the throw in for Carey. And she's leaving it now for Emily Collier. And that was a very close moment for Boroondara. Ball's thrown in. O'Donoghue makes the clearance. Boroondara will have another chance in this very forward position. Looking now, she's got Nagai with the ball at the corner flag. There are two Burgers right on top of her. She's managed to escape with the ball. Now ball's being crossed in, but Asuka Miata right there to clear. Collier heads it, but we're back with Miata, who's finding Matsuda, looking to play the ball on, not to anyone else who's further progressed on the pitch. Bronte Peel was just arriving. The ball has come back to Mossman, who will reset. She receives the ball back, puts the ball up again, and out for a throw-in. So it was a nice moment for Boroondara there. They had a good opportunity there with that corner where it was just skating over everyone, but unfortunately didn't turn in to the goal.
Boroondara, they've had a couple moments here this evening so far where it could have possibly been a potential goal, but just wasn't meant to be, I guess, for the Eagles. Hopefully, as we head into the second half, they can try and make amends of their situation. The ball, a very low crossing attempt by Isabella Wallhead. Here's Miata, who's done a great job, in my opinion, in the engine room for Heidelberg. Just managing to create a whole lot of opportunity. She was actually the player of the match in that grand final last year. And a big-time shot there by Tamar Levin from well beyond range. And so far, the 2024 champions Heidelberg, they're just proving their experience to be a little bit too strong for Boroondara. So the ball just tipping around. And Rachel Sturton. Could this be an opportunity for Boroondara that they needed an offside call well before the play? Drew Dempsey just getting offside a little bit too early, getting a little bit eager. And she's going to get booked for it a little bit too quickly before she could make her way forward. Boroondara, they've just been very stagnant in this half, not really going for any aggressive plays. It's been all Heidelberg just working the ball through the central part of the pitch, tiptoeing it in slowly inside the box. Been a couple long bombs that they tried to go with in the early stage of the game. In the first 10 minutes, they had 2 offside calls. And they're going to have to try and work their way into the game a little bit more than this at the moment, because Heidelberg, I'm sure, the way that they're playing 1-0, they would like a little bit more goals on the scoreboard considering the amount of opportunities that they've had. Heidelberg as a team, they've scored a total of 27 goals in the season thus far. One of the top scoring teams in the league. Second to South Melbourne. South Melbourne hold it with 28. The ball just being headed and tipped around with at the moment. A big shot there from well beyond range, but it wasn't meant to be, and that will be half-time here at Olympic Village. It was a very slow start to begin with, Emma, but eventually we got going. Eventually the passes started landing. Eventually they started to stick, and as we go into half-time, it was a very, very heavy possession-led game for Heidelberg. Boroondara playing a catch-up game. What's going to change in the second half? We'll be back for more right after this. It is Heidelberg 1, Boroondara-Carey Eagles 0. Welcome back, everybody, to Olympic Village as we get set for second half action here between the top of the table Heidelberg United taking on Boroondara-Carey Eagles. A very quiet first half it was for both sides, really. A 1-0 scoreline, even though there was very little shots and a very low scoreline. However, a couple substitutions I think might be checking into the game for both sides. We're going to get those checked, but as we get ready for second half action, it was Heidelberg basically the entire first half with basically all the possession that they had. You could have almost timed the amount of possession that they had because it was a lot. But Emma Burke, you've been with Heidelberg for quite a little bit. What did you think of Heidelberg in that first half?
I think they had a really good, positive first half there. Obviously, they've come away with the lead. It's a bit... I think they should honestly be a bit higher up on the scoreboard, honestly. I think they should have a couple more to their name. But hopefully we will get to see those goals come to us in the second half here at Olympic Village.
One player who I am surprised who hasn't gotten involved in the score sheet yet is Sawa Matsuda. 13 goals. She's hunting for the 14th to put her 5 goals clear of the second place that is on the table, on the top scoring table, might I add. She is well and truly a whole mile ahead of the rest of the competition. The second place on the top scoring list is on 9 goals. Sawa Matsuda with 13, so it'll be great. FC have defeated FV Academy 5-1, and the Essendon Royals got the job done against Brunswick Juventus 2-0. So it all comes down to this for Saturday, and then we go and look ahead to tomorrow, the last game around 12 between South Melbourne and Bentley Greens, and then that very heavily anticipated matchup between South Melbourne and the Preston Lions. So that should be a very, very interesting bout indeed. But back to the action, though, as Miyata just keeping the ball alive, and so far Miyata has been in the engine room doing all the hard yakka, shall I say, for Heidelberg, creating a lot of opportunities for them. So keep an eye out for Miyata. She's going to be one to watch out for. And as we mentioned, this is the midway part of the season, and the mid-season trades have happened. 5 new signings for Heidelberg. As if Heidelberg wasn't already stacked, they've gone on to add 4 former and still currently A-League women's players. Isabel Warhead is one of them, who was just in pursuit of Dempsey, who kicked that ball away. Isabel Warhead, a current Perth Glory player at the moment. Also a former Heidelberg United player, Sarah O'Donoghue, who's a current Perth Glory player and played on the Brisbane Roar. Tamar Levin, who is playing for the Brisbane Roar. So quite a lot of star power for Heidelberg United, as if they needed it, Emma, because they are such a strong team, considering they are already on the top of the table. How can Boroondara try and respond in this second half? They need to get more possession of the football, because that first half was a Heidelberg onslaught, to put it in nice terms. Heidelberg, they had Boroondara on the ropes, and they were just pouncing every which way they wanted to. And this is the matchup that everyone was looking forward to seeing between Matsuda and Higuchi. Matsuda, again, the top scorer in the NPL women's competition, taking on one of the best defenders in the NPL in Higuchi. But anyway, the ball just going to be crossed in, and a kick here early on, and the ball back into the netting. Bronte Peel with the goal. And just like that, Heidelberg with a 2-0 lead. And as we spoke about it, Emma, how about that for Heidelberg, not letting it be wasted at all? What an opportunity, and a 2-0 scoreline just like that.
Yeah, that's really great from Heidelberg there. It was a very, very clever play that's then put them now into a 2-0 lead. It'll be interesting to see how Boroondara managed to respond now that they've reset and restarted. But the Burgers coming forward again. Oh, turnover in the midfield for Boroondara, but Miata will get in the way there and win a free that's taken very quickly. It's 11 now in the centre of the park, playing back to Barrerio, who's pushing forward. And Burgers happy to bounce the ball around a bit here. Just keep Boroondara from a quick reply. Ball's coming forward again. Great intervention there, but we've got another huge shot coming through. Oh. And it was an offside flag, unfortunately, on Sawa Matsuda, who was right in on goal there. It was a big shot, I believe, from Tamar 11 that bounced back, but Matsuda was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. That time, Boroondara now with Sturton. She's looking to play forward for Dempsey. Dempsey in at the corner, but Wallhead intervenes, crucially putting the ball over the line for a corner. Now Boroondara will have their third corner of the game. Heidelberg yet to have a corner. It'll be interesting to see how Boroondara take this corner. Doesn't look like it's their captain who's taking the kick, but I don't know if I'll see the back of her jersey to be able to tell you who it is. I won't. Arm goes up. Ball's being lifted in. It's looking for a head. Can find... Oh, it was a very high overhead kick that's just gone over the bar and onto the top netting of the goal. And Heidelberg let off a little bit there. Bailey did seem to be all over that, but luckily went over the bar. Now Mia Bailey corralling her team before she takes the kick. Long delivery into the middle of the park. Balls come forward from Burke, and Bronte Peel's trying to run onto it, but it's a crucial intervention there from Hundalis to keep her from getting away with it. The Burgers are playing in from the free throw quickly. Turnover in the center of the pitch there for Boroondara, and now they'll look to make something happen. Now on this near side here, ball's coming down to Dempsey. Drew Dempsey, unfortunately, quickly dealt with by Bella Wallhead, who's had a huge impact coming back to Heidelberg. Collier now with the throw. Miata steps in and puts the ball out nearer to the halfway line. And they'll reset just a bit further down. Collier again looking for Sturton. Wallhead in the way. Ball comes across Levin. Now with O'Donoghue. Back to Miata. Plays back further. Ooh, and there's a bit of a press there from Boroondara that's looking a bit dangerous, actually. Or not enough on the pass there that's allowed Dempsey to pick that up. But we're back with Higuchi, who's played all the way back to her keeper. And it's been a good spell for Boroondara here. And they'll look to push forward through this very high press. Down back on this near side. Collier pushing forward to Dempsey. Dempsey being trailed tightly by Wallheads. Manages to get off the pass, but Miata's there. And now with Levin again. She wants to release Bronte Peel again. She's hit the long pass, but unfortunately the flag has gone up once again. That is 2 calls already of offside for the Burgers in just the first few minutes of the second half.
It's almost a replica of the first half there, Emma. In the first 7 to 10 minutes, there was already 2 offsides called in that first half, and basically a replica that we're having here in the second. Here's Ferreira Bass just keeping it alive. Ball goes off her back, trying to keep it alive, and Savaririan going to give it a massive boot, and the ball is going to go nowhere, but a good little sign of life there for Boroondara, just letting Heidelberg know that they're still somewhat there. Last time these two teams played against each other, it was back in round 1 of this season. It was Heidelberg who had a 3-2 victory. And the last time out last season, well, it was Heidelberg who had a 5-0 thumping over Boroondara-Carey. So I'm sure Boroondara wants some vengeance, considering that they've only had just the one win in head-to-head. Asawa Matsuda tries to keep it alive for Bronte Peel. What can Heidelberg make do of this? Here's O'Donoghue inside, looking for her targets. She's looking to try and send it forwards. It's a beautiful ball into the back of the netty once again for Heidelberg. And Tamar Levin, welcome back to Heidelberg. What a goal for her. And Heidelberg with a 3-0 lead against the Eagles. And Heidelberg having 2 goals in the span of about 5 minutes. And this game has been well and truly turned on its head right now at the moment. It is all Heidelberg at the start of this game. So we have had a substitution in the meantime for Boroondara-Carey Eagles, as it is Grace Norbury who is on, number 45. Grace Norbury is on in the middle of the pitch. So Boroondara electing to make a substitution after that goal. Well needed indeed. And she made the change for Felicity Georgopoulos. So some fresh legs directly in the middle of the wheelhouse for Boroondara. So Boroondara, if they want any way back in this game, it is a very big mountain to climb at the moment, because Heidelberg, they are well and truly at the wheelhouse of this game at the moment. They can well and truly do whatever they want at the moment. Whatever they want is turning to gold, and I'm sure they'd want to get this girl on the scoreboard as well to give her her 14th goal. Sawa Matsuda with a nice through ball off to O'Donoghue, who's inside. Could it be another chance? And Ben Howe giving the whistle, and it will be Boroondara-Carey Eagles ball. But Sarah O'Donoghue just marching in slowly. I thought it might have been another opportunity for Heidelberg, possibly giving them a 4-0 score, because whatever they're doing at the moment is turning to gold. But it will be a goalkeeper ball for Mia Mossman.
Yeah, that was another moment for the Burgers that could have become something very quickly. Boroondara making key intervention there to stop O'Donoghue. So, ball in the middle of the park. Levin hunting it down. Spilling around. Sturton's come into the middle of the park to pick it up for Boroondara. Looking for an option on the far side there. Ball goes straight into the feet of Barrerio. And it eventually spills out now for a throw-in for Heidelberg. Barrerio wants to take it quickly to try and trick her opposition. Burgers now with the ball, playing it back to their defensive line. Sturton very close, and now have turned it over in the middle. But we're back with the Burgers. Tamar Levins looking for a pass forwards. And now Boroondara back on the ball with Collier. She's striking past O'Donoghue and makes the correct choice of putting the ball out wide to Drew Dempsey. Dempsey trying to step around Bella Wallhead, but unfortunately not able to do so. And Wallhead's intervention goes out for a throw-in that Collier's taken. Throws it straight onto the head of Wallhead, who puts it back out. And they'll do it all again. Collier makes the throw. Oh, there's a bit of physicality there. And it looks like it was Rosie Wild who was taken out from behind. Bit of an overeager challenge there. And Heidelberg will get the free kick. Ball's launched forward looking for Matsuda. Lands on her, but stepped into. She manages to come away with it. O'Donoghue playing Levin in. Levin's looking for an option. She's electing to go out far for Molly Burke. Molly Burke now puts it in, nice and close. Boroondara steps ahead of Peel there. Not quick enough, though. Asuka Miata now on the ball. Very clever player. She's pushed over, but the referee isn't interested. Burke with the ball in. And back with Drew Dempsey now, who's looking to play out Rachel Sturton. But the Burgers are on top of things. Rosie Wild now marching ahead. Miata looking for a forward pass. She comes to this near side at the corner. Ball's crossed in. Doesn't find anyone at the far post, does Bronte Peel. Burgers will recycle again. Now Barrerio puts it in. Straight onto the head of Higuchi. Boroondara now have come away with it. Dempsey tries to take on Atsuka Miata, and that just wasn't the correct choice. Miata picking her pocket. And now Burgers pushing forward once again. They're back in the center with Miata. Just trying to play Matsuda forwards. But it's well read, and Boroondara will now come back with Severian. Unfortunately, ball runs out, and it's turned over now to a Heidelberg throw-in. Smart 11 plays back to Barrerio, who's looking back all the way to her keeper, Mia Bailey. Bailey's pushing forward, now with Hasten. Looking for an option. Finds Matsuda. Matsuda plays up. Wallhead on the line. Wallhead, clever. Finds Matsuda. Matsuda now running to the touchline, and it is cleared right at the last by Emily Collier. Puts the ball over the line, and Heidelberg will now have their first corner of the game. It only took them 62 minutes to win their first corner of the game. Not that they've needed them for goal-scoring opportunities, but this is definitely something that they can take advantage of and potentially find their fourth goal of the evening.
So as Emma mentioned, the first corner of the evening for Heidelberg. Last time out when these two teams played, Heidelberg had 7 corners. This time out, a completely different storyline indeed. This is their first, so what can they do this time out? Not many players in the box, so I'm not sure if they're going to really try and attack this one. Nevertheless, the ball is inside the box, possibly look to try and retreat on that one. Heidelberg didn't quite take that one seriously. Barrera gives it a boot inside, and that one will be cleared away by Norbury. Grace Norbury clearing it out. Off to Honduras. Tries to go off to Savaririan, who's been very etchy so far this evening. The former Wesley College and Melbourne University player. Just struggled today, finding her footing and really trying to make the connections with herself and Rachel Sturton. Hasn't had the best of games for her, as she would have liked. Rachel Sturton, another one who would be kicking herself with the amount of opportunities that she had. Don't think she'll be too pleased with her efforts out there thus far. And then again, she is a former Burger. So maybe the message, and I told you this, Emma, already, maybe the message was for Heidelberg to roughen her up and not give her any opportunities, as Mossman well outside the box and only just manages to retreat and capture the ball. And a player who has really surprised me today, Saki Nagai. She was up and about the last time out that Boroondara played against South Melbourne, having a very quiet night she is, which has caught me a little bit off surprise considering that she does like to get in and around. She is from Japan. This is her debut season in the NPL. She's been described as being a dangerous player on all aspects of the ground, so watch out for Nagai. Emily Collier to throw the ball in. Collier is actually from the United States. Graduated at the University of Portland Athletics. She did. She was actually the captain of her college team as well. And ended up playing in Austria last year, believe it or not. So definitely well-round of experience there for the 25-year-old Emily Collier. Ball just going to be shifted from one end of, from one side of the pitch to the other, I should say. And a substitution coming in here in the game. And speaking of Emily Collier, that's going to be her day done and dusted. Sorry, my apologies. Rachel Sturton. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long day, but Rachel Sturton is off and making way for the new signing of Amira Makunja. So Amira Makunja is on. Former Box Hill United player, making her start in the mid-season trade. Now making her debut for the Eagles. So ball going to be back in play here. Here's Miyata, who I've been quite fond of today. She's been the real wheelhouse creator. She's created quite a lot of opportunities for the attackers up front. Here's Wallhead, who's being absolutely pressed around at the moment by Emily Collier. Through to Burke, inside, going to be taking a shot. It was Tamar Levin looking for a second. Miyata to try and cross it in. Inside was Matsuda. Could this be a shot? And could it be saved? And Matsuda was there, and it only just goes off the crossbar. Boy, the football's not liking her foot today, I don't think, for Matsuda. She's hunting for a 14th goal, and she could have had about 16 today with the amount of shots that haven't gone her way. What a close shot it was for Matsuda. She just seemed to be at the right place at the right time whenever the ball is inside the box. But today she's just not managing to make the finishing touches count today, Emma.
Yeah, not sure if she maybe left her scoring boots or her converting boots, I guess, in the locker room maybe. Now Boroondara are looking to press, and they're chasing down the ball. It's the substitute who's crossed the ball, and the ball is spilled out of Mia Bailey's hands, but luckily her defense are well ready to collect and keep that ball from being put into the back of the net. And the Burgers will immediately turn to go the other way, but both of the attacking options there had realised they were offside, leaving it behind. Now with Collier, who's playing back to Mossman in goal, trying to settle things down after that flurry. Gertz now pushes the ball to the touchline there, to the far line, sorry. And the ball is spilled out. Heidelberg will gain possession through the throw-in. With Barrerio now. Again with that little fake-out throw into her defense. Dempsey is trying to reach the ball first, but not enough. Completely now at the other end of the field. Levins chasing that ball. Turning, taking a shot. Intervention from Higuchi, I believe, right at the last to keep the Burghers from their 4th goal. And now the Burghers have won their 2nd corner for the evening. Looks like they're going to change things up with their corner taking. Asuka Miyata will be the one to take from the far side, and she's just exactly in the line of the pole in front of me. Sorry, I'm shuffling around. She's delivering, looking for the near post. Matsuda. Ball still with Matsuda. Recycled to Miyata. She'll have another go at putting it in. She won't take that chance and go back to Barrerio, who now puts it through. Oh, very close to the head of Bronte Peel. And now Drew Dempsey's come away with it for Boroondara. Bella Wallhead with a crucial interference with her head. And now a big hit between Higuchi and Rosie Wilds. Smart 11. Ball intercepted. Burgers come away with it with O'Donoghue now. Just waiting for the right moment to play the pass forward. Opts to go backwards, Miyata. Ball spills out. Barrerio cleans up, and we're back with Miyata. She's looking for an option. Plays inside to Tamar Levin. Levin plays up and over. Back for Barrerio. There's an intervention there from Boroondara, but they are the ones to last touch, and the Burgers get the throw in. Barrerio with the throw in. Now the ball with Matsuda. Boroondara's come away with the ball. And I believe that was Ferry Abbas who was trying to get a hold of the ball under control. But they've still come away with the throw-in. In the middle of the park now, Ferry Abbas. It's mile 11. Ball's kind of chopping and changing possession quickly. Boroondara now, they're trying to press forward. They're sending their attackers, or they're pushing for an attack, really. But it doesn't seem like they're all on the same page when pushing forward. And we'll have another substitution now, this time 2 players for Heidelberg United. We have Bella Wallhead, who has finished up her time for today, her return to the Burgers. Her substitution. Now, we'll also have, it might be 3 players actually. So, Bella Wallhead exits. I believe Sarah O'Donoghue exits. And Bronte Peel exits. And it looks like we've got Erin Tarrant, number 30, who's come on. Catherine Vlahopoulos, I believe, number 8. And the Heidelberg captain, Stephanie Galea, their longest serving player of the game, number 7. Now with some fresh legs to finish out the last 20 or so minutes of the game, will the Burgers be able to find that 4th goal that they seem so keen to get?
Going to have to wait and see, won't we? As the Burgers just going to be tipping the ball around in this game. Ball going to be thrown in. Here's Matsuda. just trying to keep it alive at the moment. The ball is inside, and ball just going to retreat out. Ball just going to be tipped around here for Boroondara and Heidelberg. No, either retrospective team can get a clear shot on it. Matsuda's in there inside the box. Could this be a chance for 14? Oh, yes! Yes, it is! She's in her own world right now. Sawa Matsuda, goal number 14. This is her kingdom. And there is a 4-0 lead for Heidelberg. Sawa Matsuda just proving too strong. Goal number 14. And what a time it comes.
I feel like I've just been handing over to you for the goals. I don't think I've called a single goal. I called a play all the way up to before. I hand it over, and then all of a sudden, they're in the back of the net. Maybe I should keep passing it to you. We'll see. Maybe we'll see 5 or 6. But that was some excellent work from Sawa Matsuda there. You could tell she really wanted that. She was fighting for that to the very last. And unfortunately, it looks like this might just be a hill too steep to climb for the Eagles, as it looks like Miata has been taken out and has won a free kick for it. And I would like to say I believe, make a mistake with the substitutions. It wasn't Tarrant who entered the pitch. I believe it's Eve Tiktakakis who has made her return to the Burgers after spending time, I believe, in the US. Yeah, it looks like she's been playing at the Charleston Southern University of USA and has now made her return to Heidelberg, where she's been playing previously.
Yeah, that's correct. She was playing 2023 for Florida Tech Panthers in her freshman year, and in her sophomore year, she was in the Charleston Southern University, played 7 goals for them last season. Also another former Heidelberg player, as you just mentioned, Emma.
Yep, and the ball is now out with Boroondara's their coach, I should say. Sorry. And there'll be another substitution, this time for Boroondara. We're seeing Rees enter the field of play. And player exiting should be Saki Nagai. And Tunduls. There's a lot happening on the other side of the pitch. It's very far away, guys. Boroondara pushing forward. Will they be able to find a goal? Burgers quick to clean up. Mia Bailey, her ball goes straight back to Boroondara. Molly Burke with the crucial foot in. Miata turning it over. She's looking to find Matsuda and does. Does Matsuda want a second? No. Passes. She's trying to make a cross there, maybe find the feet of Catherine Vlahopoulos, but her legs aren't that long. She's probably not going to meet that ball, and did not. Mossman now to start us up again. So a few changes from both sides in the last couple of minutes. A lot of fresh legs onto the pitch. Don't think we can see this game open up anymore for Heidelberg, but who knows? They might just manage it.
If you hand the microphone back over to me, maybe they might.
Ball now with Tamar Levin in the centre of the pitch. She's looking forward. She's going to push forwards. Not enough on that. If it was a shot and if it was a pass, well, it just wasn't going to find anyone. Ball goes over the end line, and Mossman will restart for Boroondara. None of today really has gone Boroondara's way, unfortunately. There have been flashes of moments for them, but they just haven't been able to capitalise on them. It looks like the signings that Heidelberg have made and brought in have made all the difference in elevating an already fantastic squad. Mossman now with the ball again, trying to shepherd her team up the pitch. Delivery is long to the touchline. A bit of a tussle in the midfield there. Barrerio comes away with the ball. And now in the back line. Out with Tiktakakis, who plays back. Ball launched forward, looking for Levin. Can't find her. Double team there from Galea and Miata to put the pressure on. And the ball is eventually spilled out now for a throw-in. Now we're with Tiktakakis. Throw in, looking for Galea. Doesn't find her. Only finds the foot of Drew Dempsey, who puts it straight back out. And she'll go again. Vlahopoulos plays back to her. She's slipped her defender. Ball comes forward, and now it's the captain, Stephanie Galea, who's a tight touch around Higuchi. Her cross goes in, but there's no one that's timed their run correctly to meet it, and Mossman will throw the ball out for Boroondara to try and push forward again. Burgers have immediately cleaned up that, and they're going all the way back to Mia Bailey in goals. Her clearance is a bit short. Burke is there. Now Vlahopoulos heads it on to Miata. Up to Tamar Levin. Just trying to play Galea in again. Vlahopoulos puts it forwards, but no one's on the same page at that point. Now with Tiktakakis. Finds Galea. Galea's thinking about her pass. She plays Tiktakakis in down this near side, who does well to shake her defender, and she's now cleared to cross, and oh, the ball has bounced off the crossbar. Was that a shot or a cross? Couldn't tell you. Don't think she'd be able to tell us either. But the ball has gone out on the far side for another throw in to Heidelberg.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to tell you either. Emma, it didn't look like it was a shot, and neither did it look like it was a cross. I think it was a close your eyes, see ball, kick ball, and pray for the best, maybe. But anyway, back to the action. Boroondara, who haven't had the greatest of games, which is disappointing for them considering they are second on the table. This has been a very one-sided Heidelberg game thus far. However, could this be an opportunity for Boroondara that they need to try and spark something within them? The ball's inside. Norbury, who's inside, gets it right off of Mia Bailey's body. Wow. The goalkeeping there for Mia Bailey just proving way too strong. And just like that, another opportunity just slipping through the fingers of Boroondara. And so unfortunate there for Boroondara. They've had so many opportunities, so many clear as day shots just like that right in front of the goal. And just not managing to squeak one. Not managing to squeak one, Emma, just to go past the goal into the netting. That is disappointing for him.
And I even handed the microphone over to you for the call. Unbelievable, guys. Come on. Burgers now. Oh, and we've stopped play for a foul. The Burgers will get a free kick just before the halfway line. It's Burke who's taking it nice and quickly back to Maya Hayson. Hayson finding Levin. Levin now to Miata. Miata very, very careful about her moves. Wild back to Miata now. Miata pushing forward Matsuda. Matsuda plays it back to Miata. Miata with the long ball across the pitch to Barrerio. She's pushing forward. Her cross is coming in to Matsuda. Unfortunately, just a bit ahead of Sawa Matsuda, so she will not yet have her second goal of the game. Still 9 minutes for her. But we will be turning again to the bench as the Burgers make another 2 substitutions. Now we will see Tarrant entering the field of play in place of Cameron Barrerio. And the second substitution will see Tamar Levin exit the field. And replacing her is Marika Chua, number 41. And play will restart. Boroondara again looking for something. Streaking forward is the striker for Boroondara. Galea now. Tiktakakis. Unfortunately, ball spills out there by Collier. And Tiktakakis will take the throw in. Finds Lahopoulos. Back with Tiktakakis. He's looking in the midfield, but there wasn't really any option there. And Boroondara will collect. And we're with Savararian now, who's streaking down the far side, followed closely by Miata. Miata steps in. Savararian does well to get the pass off, but it goes straight to the Burgers. And now Matsuda with the ball at her feet. One option going forward is the captain, Galia, but her pass forward clashes in to a Boroondara player. And now Boroondara back with the ball. Higuchi now on the ball, being harassed by Galia. The ball goes back to Mossman in goals. She plays down towards us, down to Emily Collier. Collier's ball comes forwards. But unfortunately, Ellen Turner, who entered the pitch earlier, puts the ball straight out for a throw-in. Burgers again. Pushing forward. Intervention by Collier. Rosie Wild does well there. A lot of streaking runs out there, trying to make something for Boroondara, but they just can't keep a hold of it. Ball now with Patricius, who also entered the field earlier. Burgers looking for something. Boroondara looking for something. Boroondara now in their midfield, pushing forward. Makes the pass forward. It's a good one. Believe it's Ferreira Bass on the ball, who's crossed it back in. But it's Rosie Wild who intervenes. They'll try again. Cross in. Clashes into Maya Hasten, I believe. And Boroondara will have another opportunity at goal with a corner kick.
And as Emma hands over the microphone to me, she just mentions maybe it could be a goal. We'll have to wait and see. I feel like the lucky touch for me has been on the Heidelberg end, but nevertheless, though, another corner coming up here for Boroondara. Could this be the one to give them a goal and to give them something to be positive about? The ball is up well beyond at the back of the pack, and the ball is going to go on the netting. So another wasted opportunity for Boroondara. It has not been their day whatsoever. A lot of opportunities, but just struggling to really make one. And my question going into this game was, can Boroondara withstand the onslaught that Heidelberg are going to bring? I think that answer's no. Heidelberg just way too strong in this game. You can tell, as Emma mentioned before, the signings, the 3 new signings, or 5 I should say, but 3 of which that have played in this game, being Tamar Levin, Sarah O'Donoghue and Isabel Wallhead, just proving to be that tad bit too much for the Boroondara-Carey Eagles squad. Would like to see this game unfold without those brand new players coming in. Maybe we could be having a completely different matchup right now, but this is football, and those signings were made at the mid-season transfer, so Heidelberg making some really, really smart decisions in who they want to sign and who they want to elect to play for them. Ball going to be with Macuña. Going to be cleared off. Slowly trying to charge for it was Turner. Turner has been subbed in. Here's Macuña. And Miata doing a great job at selling the candy in the middle of the pitch. So the way that things stand, it is an offside there for Heidelberg. But the way that things stand, it will be Heidelberg well and truly clear on the table, right at the top of the table. Walking away with 3 points here will be Heidelberg, most likely. With the way that they're playing, they're going to end up being on 29 points. They're going to be well and truly 2 rounds clear of the rest of the pack. in terms of standings. Heidelberg, they are just such a strong team. And a win here could extend them to 4 wins in a row. It is quite something for them. So the ball just going to be led forwards by Collier. Could this be a chance that Boroondara need, and not quite again? Another missed opportunity for Boroondara. Positive signs if you are part of the Boroondara-Carey Eagles camp, that they are taking shots, albeit not the best ones, but just struggling to convert. However, I think tonight we can agree has been Heidelberg's night. The match of the round proving to be all about the Burgers. The 2023 champions, showing why they are the champions after all of the NPL women's competition. So in the back end of the season now, Heidelberg are setting themselves up nicely, cementing themselves in a beautiful spot to really contend for finals. Second spot is up in the air at the moment between Heidelberg and South Melbourne, and the rest is as follows. You never really know who could sneak in come finals time. But my real question is going to be, who can contend against this really, really strong Heidelberg team? A team who rarely ever puts a foot wrong, and as witnessed tonight, can flip the switch at a click of a finger. The throwing goes forwards for Boroondara. What can they make of it? Savariran and Ferreira Bass were in that contest. Here's Miata. Apologies, wasn't Miata. Rosie Wild, correction. Here's Matsuda, who I can say now the 14-time goal scorer. Could this be another opportunity here for Heidelberg? She's going to give it a well beyond boot, and Mossman only just let it loose. Couldn't quite get a proper grip on it, but she does that time. And referee Ben Howe electing for no added time in this one. And at the completion of full time, it was a full-on Boroondara onslaught here at Olympic Village. Emma, what did you think of that match?
That was just all Heidelberg all the time, wasn't it? Unfortunate for Boroondara, considering they are second place, but that really goes to show what Heidelberg are made of. They're definitely seriously looking to come through and do 2 in a row, winning the competition like they did last season. A huge threat to everyone else. It'll be very interesting to see how the back half of the season plays out for the Burgers, and if Boroondara are able to step back up after this loss in the next round.
Well, the 11th meeting going the way of Heidelberg. They extend the head-to-head, 8 wins to 1 with still the 2 draws, and Heidelberg extend their winning streak thus far to 4 wins this season in a row, might I add, after their 1-1 draw against Spring Hills. This is their 4th win in a row for the Burgers. They're looking strong. Who is going to get close to them at the moment? It is all about Heidelberg. Tough luck for Boroondara, but at the moment, at the completion of full time, it is Heidelberg 4, Boroondara-Carey Eagles 0. From myself and from the rest of the team, it is good evening and have a good, safe weekend.